everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Yeah! Welcome, everybody. Today's show is going to be great. I really appreciate it. By the way, we've been blowing up, so I just want to say thank you to everybody. The chats are live right down here. Disruptor Academy is now over 700 people. So thank you all so much. For those that didn't know, Disruptor Academy, we opened up a free tier. So now you get access to the community, all of the recordings of our live calls, the ad account roast, the live calls with me, Q&As, the live calls with our coaches, both Nadeem and Jared, some of the smartest people in the world when it comes to this kind of work, and MBA grads. So just loving all of that. Go to disruptoracademy.com if you want to jump in. It's 100% free to join. And if you want to jump into some of the, we have, not only do we have, I'll show it all later, but it's incredible. And there's like 50, there's nearly 50 or 100 hours worth of stuff that you can get for free. And then if you pay, you can get even more. So it's going to be incredible. But that's not about today. Today is about decoding Andromeda, the 4 metrics to help you scale Meta ads. So with that being said, let's get into it. Meta's new ad system called Andromeda has everyone confused. I get it. I talk to people running ads every day. They work harder and harder, but results just get worse. And what I found is most of them, almost everybody, doesn't understand there's only 4 metrics you actually have to look like that even matter when trying to understand how the machine's using your ads. Once again, hi, I'm Charlie. I've been running ads for over 10 years now, helping brands grow, get more customers, and make more money. So what we're going to talk about today is I want to show you those 4 numbers and how to read them so that you can understand how your ads can grow faster and feel easier to run. So let's talk about the black box myth. For a long time, people thought Meta was a secret machine. They'd say, it's a black box. Nobody knows how it works or why or any of that other complete nonsense. The truth is, it's not hiding anything. It's showing you every single thing that you need to know. You just have to know what to look for. Now, the truth is, every ad has 4 simple numbers. They're like 4 sides of a box. They're sides of a square, right? And if you can read them, you can fix them. And that's how you turn ads from a guessing game into something that works on purpose, where you can have control. And let's start with the very first metric. It's spend. Where Meta puts your money. Spend isn't just your budget. It's Meta saying this ad is doing a good job. But you have to understand what that means. When Meta spends more on an ad, it's because people like that ad. They're watching, they're clicking, they're having fun. Maybe after they click, they spend time on your site and fire a bunch of pixels. If spend goes down, that ad isn't keeping people's attention anymore. So instead of asking, why is Meta wasting my money? Ask, why is Meta trying to tell me? What is Meta trying to tell me, right? Spend shows which ad the machine believes in for its business objective, right? You're in a business relationship. Second one is frequency. Now, frequency tells you how often people see your ad. And while that's true, almost everyone completely misunderstands it, because it's not about how many times. What it really is who the audience is that's seeing that ad. If your ad's frequency is a 1.1, that means about 10% of people saw that ad twice today. That is a top of funnel ad. 90% of that spend was prospecting. If the frequency by day is 1.9, that means 90% of people saw that ad twice. That is retargeting. It's talking to people who already know you. So frequency shows who your ad is talking to, right? It's the audience. It's letting you know, because remember, the ad does the targeting. Frequency shows you who is being shown that ad, and you can 100% have a retargeting ad and a prospecting audience and the other way around. The third number is CPM. How much does it cost to show your ad 1,000 times? If people like your ad, Meta will give you cheaper traffic. If people scroll past your ad or get bored, it costs more. A low CPM means people enjoy your content. A high CPM means that really only your fans care, not strangers, right? So think of it as like a billboard. You're blocking the sunset. If your ad makes people smile and set aside, Meta is going to reward you with cheaper views. Cheaper CPMs also mean that lower quality people are going to see your ad. But that's okay because it fills the funnel. And higher CPMs mean it's only premium inventory or it's a huge liability. And the last one, of course, is cost per result. This tells you how much you pay for the one good thing, like a click or a sale. But here's the thing. A low CPR doesn't always mean it's a bad ad or a great ad. It might just mean the ad was shown to somebody ready to buy. It's about assigning volume of credit. You have a blended CPA, and then what ad was closer or further away from that sale. A high CPR might not be a bad thing. It might just been the thing that got somebody to want to buy from you later. Each ad has a job. Some help people notice you. Others get people to buy. You need both. So when we put this all together, spend, frequency, CPM, and cost per result, you can finally see what's going on. You can totally understand what's happening inside the black box. If the spend is high, the frequency is low, the CPM is low, and the CPR looks bad, that's a top of funnel ad. It's finding new people. It's incremental. If the spend is low, the frequency is high, the CPM is high, and the CPR looks great, that's a top of funnel ad. It's finishing the sale. So many people are like, oh, well, Facebook is dumb and never spends on the best ad, because the only reason that ad is good is because it's a bottom of funnel ad. It's taking more credit. That's the only reason it looks good. Your job is to make all the ads work better. Some find people, some close the deal. That's how you scale and keep things stable. So what we need to understand here is the data only helps you if you can use it. And even with perfect numbers, your ad still needs to be something that people enjoy. Remember that at the end of the day, we are in a business relationship with Meta. Okay? Their business objective is to retain, is the retention of attention for profit. If your ad is a liability to that business objective, you are going to see higher costs. If your ad is a liability to that objective, you're going to have higher frequencies. You're going to have higher CPMs. You're going to reach a lower quality audience, and it's going to be more expensive. Or you might reach a higher quality audience, and again, it's still going to be more expensive. The point here is, if your CPMs are high, then that's a signal that the content you have doesn't appeal to a broader audience. If your CPMs are low, that's a signal that a broader audience is interested in what you have to say. But the sentiment of that attention, the quality of those users, all of that stuff has nothing to do with it. So we really need to understand what's going on, right? And for the record, you might absolutely have an ad with a lot of spend and a low frequency and a low CPM with a high cost per result. And that ad could be filling the funnel. It could also be filling the funnel with a whole bunch of people that aren't good for you. That's okay. That's good to understand. This will often happen if you have a viral ad, right? Or something with an amazing hook rate. Do you want an amazing hook rate, or do you want an amazing conversion rate? Odds are those things are very much in opposition to each other, right? If you go viral, if a whole bunch of people love your content and the people who love it aren't the ones that are likely to buy, that's not good for you. And conversely, if you have an ad with the best conversion rate, if you're just constantly pushing for ROAS and CPR, remember what you're doing is you're optimizing for as much spend as possible to the bottom of the funnel. You're going to have a whole bunch of ads that look really good on paper, but ultimately don't grow the business and ultimately hurt your ability to find new customers. These are all problems that we're going to have to face. These are all things that you need to understand. If you're launching 1,000 ads trying to focus on ROAS, what you're really doing is optimizing for how much credit for success the machine can take at the expense of the overall opportunity your business has. If you're trying to optimize your Facebook ad account for the best overall result inside the Facebook ad account, what you're doing is you're starving everything that happens afterwards. These are things that people who grow brands know intrinsically, and things that performance marketers will fight till the day that they die, because let's be fair, their performance is not their paycheck is dependent on you being dependent on them. There's a whole issue with all of that. I'm not going to get into it all right now, but these are the 4 numbers that you really need to understand. The machine isn't dumb. It's not spending in spots because it's trying to steal your money. It's not avoiding spending on the best ads because, well, for whatever reason. And remember, your version of a best ad, the best CPA, the best ROAS, all of that stuff. When you say, oh, it's a best ad, what you're saying is this is the ad that takes the most credit for a transaction that may or may not have occurred without it. So the reason that's really important is Because if you're always optimizing to optimal performance to the bottom line of each line item of your ad account, what you're optimizing to is the least amount of incremental lift. You're optimizing to the smallest number of overall transactions. And if you're constantly changing your ads in and out and in and out, the machine is never going to be able to get past that. So your CPMs will always rise, your CAC will always rise, and you always play the victim. But when Q4 comes around, you're going to smash your cost caps and it's going to be amazing. And in Q5 and Q1, you're going to see tremendously cheap CPMs. You're going to buy up all the worst quality customers that you possibly can and then struggle like hell in the summer because all of your stuff went up because you didn't plan for having the highest quality customers and you didn't build with the foundation that can scale. If you don't know these numbers, you're ultimately focusing on the ego of the marketer, not the bank account of the business. And that is incredibly important for people to understand. And it's not like a mystery. We've had these data points basically since the beginning of the platform. But with that being said, let's dive into some of your questions. Clearly, I got a puppy in here that's motivated. Hi, buddy. I know. Mommy put you into the office today. Didn't mention anything to you. Didn't mention anything to me. Just all of a sudden you're here. Now, I don't hate it, buddy, but yeah, go and warm my feet. Hi. Okay. We have a nice little golden doodle down here. But you were a little distracting, buddy. I think I lost the script there for a minute. Anyway, not an actual script. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to it today because I am excited about what we are doing. We've been really speed running through a lot of the questions lately, and I want to do differently today. So I wanted to really get through that quick. And then we're just going to pop open the community tab and spend as much time as we can here. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, boom, 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 right down there is the MBA program for all of you that are ready to heavily invest in just getting you to the place that you want to be. If you want to fire your agency for a lower price than what that agency would charge you over the next 3 months, you could never need them ever again. If you are struggling, if you're in the $500 to $2,000 a day range or more, the MBA program will pay for itself by the end of the month. It is lifetime access. I highly recommend that you join it. We've had people that have joined, they joined 5 years ago, that are still active on a regular basis. And we've just did a huge update of everything. So it's all Andromeda focused. We went from 9 modules to 12, and I'm adding 3 more before the end of the year. This is an incredible resource, and I highly, highly recommend that you get it. Plus, you get the chance to work with me directly. We have multiple one-on-ones and weekly calls. So if you want the help that you need to get to the place that you deserve, that's the best place to do it. Now, if that is too expensive or a bit difficult for you, that's also okay. What we can do is get you into Disruptor Academy. If you come into Disruptor Academy, joining here, we are at 698 members right now. You can get in for free. Now, the beautiful thing with Disruptor Academy, you can start here. We have the free course hub. In the free course hub, we've got over a dozen courses for you. I think about a dozen courses. In the Meta Blueprint, we have a 4 week long course, and then we're adding in a whole other thing. There's also the Begin to Win for those of you that are just starting out that really want to understand offer construction and the overall economics of everything. Inside the Meta Blueprint, we talk about the 4 PI analysis. We talk about your unit economics in your business. We get into the 3-2-2 ads. We get into understanding the right creative for the right job so that you can scale your business. Here's all of the histories of all of the roast the ad accounts. This is nearly 100 different ad accounts that you can get to see roasted. All of the group recordings, the Disruptor bot. You get 250 proven creative templates, so you can literally just copy and paste your way to a ton of more stuff. And also a whole bunch of tools and resources. So all the courses, you get the ebooks, you get discount codes, so a whole bunch of other businesses and guest speakers. You get the abbreviations guide. There's so much stuff here. But again, that's the Disruptor Academy. It is now free for people to join. The difference between the free version and the paid version is just, do you get to attend the classes and do you get access to the more premium course material? But if you want to come in for free and just absolutely take advantage of it until you get to ask enough questions and get to the place where you get enough help that the paid version makes a ton of sense, fantastic. Also, we're launching a bunch of software for everybody that's going to be amazing. Basically, stuff is going to tell you exactly what your hero offer is, exactly the mix between new and returning customer base, not only in the volume of transactions, but we're not looking at what is the LTV and what is the returning customer percentage and all of that stuff, actual dollars and cents to tell you what your allowable CAC is so that you can scale profitably while still attaining customers at a loss and know how aggressively you can do that. Not according to future money that may or may not happen, but what your bank account looks like right now and the overall trending of the health of your business. We're also having stuff that will tell you your profitable scaling margin. And then you can see, well, how if I scale my budget by X or Y or Z, how much more can I scale while still maintaining profitability, and project all of that out for you in 3 to 6, 9 months increments. We also have a tool in there that will analyze your entire ad account, run a 4PI analysis for you, and then give you creative concept format suggestions so you know exactly how to solve your problems. And one of my favorite things, you'll be able to just upload your ad account, and it'll just tell you what ads you can turn on or turn off to just get slightly better, and give you a risk assessment and a threshold. So basically saying, what is my tolerance for risk? If I just want to get better every single day, I could upload it into that and then give me my move today. Do that 3-4 times a week, and then boom, just the ad account will get better and better and better and better and better. And I even have a case study coming out on a YouTube video in a couple of weeks around a brand that did that and went from 800 a week to 8,000. And I think the ROAS went from like a 2.19 to like a 1.7 or something like that. But they went to a space where they were making over $10,000 profit a week on that one campaign, and went from, I think, 86 ads down to 4. And that one campaign is now going to be spending over $100,000 a week. And we're even going to have some projected days during Black Friday where it will spend over $100,000 to $200,000 a day. And I think 90% of the moves were just done with the 5 pieces of software that I told you. So incredible, incredible stuff that we're working on here. But all that being said, let's get to the bottom line. Barkaloo, are you okay, buddy? I know. Grandma's here. They kicked you out. I don't know why they did that, little buddy. I don't know. But I hope you're okay. Do you want to come over here and warm my feet again? Would you like some scratches on your little nugget head? If so, come on over. I got him. I got scratching for you. Until then, let's help the people. All right. Let's get to the comment section. By the way, everybody, I see all the comments in the chat here. We're going to get to the chat at 9:30, okay? So give me 10 minutes. We're going to hit the chat. But right now, we're going to use that 10 minutes to get through some of the questions here. And then we'll come back to the chat. We'll bounce back and forth today. All right. Also, if you love these videos, I really appreciate everybody's just support here. The number one thing you could do to help more than anything is just share these videos. Apparently YouTube loves it when you share stuff, retweet the stuff on Twitter, just whatever you can do. It's incredibly appreciated. So thank you all so much. All right, let's get into it. This is the new way to run ads. This is the 4PI video, basically talking about a lot of the stuff we just did. Great video. One question. I currently run broad retargeting without any custom audience. Without any custom audiences. I don't know what that means. Broad retargeting, just creative. Oh, I see. One quick question. I currently run broad. So yeah, great. So you're saying, quick question. I currently run broad retargeting without any custom audiences. I just create creatives that are bottom of funnel and mid funnel tailored. Should I include the custom audiences? Here's the thing. You are not running broad retargeting. You are just running broad with creatives according to a 4PI that sit lower in the funnel. I would probably layer in custom audiences and then make creatives that sit higher in the funnel so that you have a real multi-stage customer journey, and throw them all in your one campaign and let that campaign choose between the investment stuff for you. I love how you're thinking about it, though. Broad retargeting is not creative-based. It's custom audience-based. And more about that in the broad retargeting video, which you can see on this channel. Maybe we'll get questions about it. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Barkley. It's okay, buddy. You're killing me. You're just crying. Don't cry. Come here. Come here. Let me hold you like a baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. Okay. Let's help some people, okay? Let's do this. Okay. Okay. There we go. Good boy. All right. All right. Sing. I love it. And you're in the chat too. Hey, Charlie, I've been running some lead gen campaigns profitably, but do you think running conversion campaign alongside with same or different ads is a good idea, or does it not require and add more complexity to the account? I have a landing page that takes people through a weight loss quiz and was optimizing for quiz completion, but never found success with that. I tested for a week. I do see big advertisers run conversion campaigns only, not lead gen. Why? Okay. In lead gen, I'm optimizing for bookings using Cappy, not leads, but in conversion campaigns, it seems impossible. It's not able to match your campaign the booking came from. It's really trying multiple times. All right. Let's try to unpack this a little bit. All right. I've been running lead gen campaigns profitably, but do you think when a conversion campaign alongside them or different ads is a good idea or not required? Here's the thing. If you're trying to run, I need to know the business a bit more, but I'm okay with running leads and conversions side by side. Objectively, there's not a reason why you shouldn't or couldn't do that. I think it's about budget and about what your business goals are. If you're just trying to run leads to get people to buy things, you could run both and see what you can do best. The leads is going to be lower quality, more data. It's going to be higher volume, lower quality, and more data. So it means you'll be able to make progression more consistently, but you're going to start further behind. So, there's that. I have a landing page that takes people to a weight loss quiz and optimizing for quiz completion, but never found success with that. Tested for that for a week. I'd say a week is not nearly enough time, but if you're optimizing for quiz completion, I'm assuming that means that you get a lead to somebody. But this funnel feels either way too complicated or disjointed. I'll say that. I do see big advertisers in the US and UK run conversion campaigns only, not lead gen. Why? Well, because you might not need to do lead gen. Although, to be fair, it shocks me when people say, well, all I run is conversion ads. Like, okay, so the only thing you do is the most expensive thing where you're just barraging people to buy from you, and then you expect, anyway, that's a whole other conversation. In lead gen campaigns, I'm optimizing for bookings using Cappy, not leads. But in conversion campaigns, it seems impossible since it's not able to match which campaign that booking came from after trying really multiple times. If you run a conversion campaign and you get a booking, if the conversion campaign optimize event is the booking, it will tell you which ad that came from. Cappy, not leads. I mean, conversions API would be for leads or conversions. So I think here the big thing that I'm seeing is this feels a bit disjointed, and I think there's also a bit of a language barrier, but let's try to get to the bottom of it here. Okay. I think you can run conversions alongside leads if you want. I think if you have the budget to afford it, great. If you don't, figure out which one you can do better. Leads is going to be lower quality but higher volume, which means you'll be able to make forward progress, but you might start further behind. You don't need to only run conversion campaigns or leads. You can do both. A lot of folks only run conversion campaigns, which again is a whole other thing. I don't see why you would always only invest on the most expensive thing. But I mean, I know why, but because most people are just taught wrong. And in the lead gen campaign, if it's not optimizing towards the booking, this feels like a tracking issue. The conversion campaign should be able to track that somebody booked. I think maybe one of the issues here is that if there are multiple events, the lead and the conversion, if the lead comes in after the conversion does, it'll take credit for the booking, even though it's not necessarily the reason that it happened. And that customer journey is something that I want to map out a bit closer. Understanding that those things might be complementary or might be cannibalistic. All right, buddy, there you go. I don't really care about which ad gets the job done. I care about the overall efficiency of doing the work. So I think there's some stuff in there we need to unpack, but maybe, I know you're live on the chat. Maybe we can get some more of that here. All right. Hey, Charlie, thank you for all the content you share. You're welcome. The post Andromeda, new way to run ads. Yeah, the 4PI stuff. Love it. I have one question. My main offer with its main funnel, I have my main offer with its main funnel, and then I sell more of a higher price products by email. Okay. Do those products still have to connect to the pixel? They don't. I don't know why you wouldn't, but they don't have to. I'm not sure if that confuses Meta or gives better information, since I could sell them another week and the purchase event would be counted as a purchase. If you have a main offer, you could do a custom conversion event around the main offer that is purchased, where URL or content ID or something like that contains some string of characters, whatever. You could have the campaign optimized to that custom event, so the purchase of the higher priced item would not confuse the main offer. I absolutely would include the higher priced item. There's no reason to not let the machine see that. All of those purchases coming in are going to tell the machine just more positive sentiment around your business. So I would definitely include that wherever possible. And I don't see any benefit to restricting it seeing that. And it might be counted as a purchase. That's fine. I don't care that I think that's a good thing. I might even have the higher priced products be categorized as high ticket purchase or something like that as another custom conversion event. So you'll be able to see, all right, I made 65 purchases and 47 of them were hero offer and 12 of them were high ticket, or whatever that math looks like. That's not right, but you know what I'm saying. I think that'd be really helpful information. Because the machine is also looking to see, do people have positive interactions with your business before and after the transactions? And after they buy, do they come back and enjoy again? So I want to see all of that information. I'd like to have that all in there. I'd like the machine to be able to understand what we're trying to do. This is so helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Charlie, I've seen a lot of videos of people creating better hooks and improving hold rate. Can you give some examples of how they matter and what should be the strategy on that? I don't care about a hook rate or hold rate. I mean, if I'm trying to specifically optimize for reaching a lower quality audience for a cheaper price to scale my funnel, then I'm looking at these things. But hook and hold rate has nothing to do with sentiment. So it's a way of reaching new individuals that might care about what I'm doing. It's a creative strategy. If I want to understand how to do that better, I'm probably looking at storytelling styles. I want to understand content stuff. I'm looking at the retention graphs of the content that I have. That's a whole other discipline. That's a whole other thing that people make their entire career by being good at that. I will say that these things can help you get more attention. But if it gets you the wrong kind of attention, it can make everything more expensive. If you want to know how to attract the right type of attention and the better people, I would be focusing on who are the folks that buy from you over and over again. And then understand what they're buying and reach out to them. Email them. Ask them why they bought. Talk to them. Call them up on the phone. Understand the motivations and why they're so happy. Like, understand what's going on, get their words, and then use that in your scripts. I have a video where I talk about how the funnel that I launched to make $100,000 in 30 days, and I did it twice. I have a whole video on that on the YouTube channel you can check out, and that's quite literally like how I wrote the scripts for the ads. Hasham, love your content. I'm running local lead gen for property buyer in the UK, and in every campaign, I face a very odd spend distribution for all ads. I use ABO. Well, don't do that. Can you suggest a good structure of number of ads and ad sets in each campaign? Love it. This is the Andromeda update. Great video. I'm so proud of that video. It made me so happy, and I'm so glad that so many people still watch it. It's like nearly a month old, and it's still like the third most popular video on the channel. So like on a daily basis. So it makes me very happy. So very odd spend distribution for all ads. What I'm assuming you mean by that, Hasham, is that the majority of your budget goes to a few ads. And based on your feedback here, I think you're under the impression that that's a bad thing. I'd be under the impression that it's not. If all of my spend goes to a few ads and my performance isn't good, well, turn off the ads that are getting a bunch of spend. You could run a 4PI analysis on those ads and understand which ones are good or bad for you, which ones are prospecting too high in the funnel, or which ones are retargeting ads and not efficient. Find the people on your team that are bad at their job and remove them. Good structure, number of ads. I would use CBO. I would have one campaign for your business objective. I would have one ad set with my proven winner ads where I know how they're going to behave according to a 4PI analysis. I have a very clear understanding, more or less, week in, week out, what the frequency is going to be, how much spend they're going to take, what the CPMs are going to look like, and how efficient they are. And then I'm going to have another ad set or two with 1-3-2-2 ad per, specifically trying to improve upon whichever member of my team is the weakest link. You can get away with 5 ads in that winner's ad set and 1-3-2-2 flex ad in the other ones. Maybe that's 7-8 ads total. Anyone can get to 5-figure daily spends US currency on that many ads. You don't need more than that. You can get there with way more ads, but by no means is that necessary. And I would say the more ads you launch, the less stable and the less scalable the system you have is, and the more dependent that success is on you launching more and more ads. At some point, you stop the idea of, if I only work harder, I can get more. At some point, you begin to leverage your skill set, not your time. You begin to leverage the machine rather than your level of effort, because ultimately you can't work more than 24 hours in a day. You can't work more than 7 days in a week. And the machine is infinitely smarter and more educated and makes better decisions than you ever will. Your job is to give it the best tools to make those choices. All right, it's 33 after. So let's hit the chat. Okay. Yes, I'm confused. Okay, no problem, Rashad. From the Disruptor Academy, good to see you. All right. Hey, Charlie. Nice to see you too. What do you make of this? Day 1, I get a 3 ROAS, low CPA, low CPC. Day 2, it tanks. Day 3, it's halfway, and so on. Ecom Pond, what I make of that is when you launch an ad, those ads always, all right, let me get rid of this. Okay. When you launch an ad, day 1 of an ad, Facebook shows that to the people at the bottom of the funnel. Now, I think that in my debate with Jordan, he's like, well, that's not true. I mean, Jordan's just objectively wrong. All social media works by showing your content to the people that it thinks is most likely to engage positively with that content. Inherently, when that is organic content, it means your best followers, your most engaged people see every new piece. And if they don't like it, it doesn't show it to strangers. That's why everybody's in 200 view hell for TikTok, for instance, right? Now, in ads, the same thing happens. It shows all of your new ads to the people who are most likely to buy. It basically shows your ad to somebody who's already in the checkout line with a credit card out. If that person enjoys your ad, it might show it to other people. On day 1, all of your ads launch at the bottom of the funnel. So every time you launch new ads, what you're doing is you're just bloating the bottom of the funnel. Now, on day 2, it said, oh, some of these worked really well. Let's show it to strangers. Oh, it didn't work. You basically said, okay, so we made it so that all you had to do to win was exist. We found 1 or 2 things there that were able to take credit for the success of an entire customer journey that may be days or weeks or years long at the touch point. So let's see what that looks like against strangers. Oh, it failed. Okay. Well, day 3, let's take the failure from day 2 and try to get better. Ecom Pond, my number 1 feedback for you is if you're looking at results day to day, you are thinking way too small. If you need the results to be successful on a day-to-day basis, you're not measuring your performance in the right way. I fully expect ads to do well early, tank, and then kind of come back to a normal. Day 1 isn't what that ad is. Day 7 is what that ad is. Week 1, week 2 is what you should be able to expect from an ad. And if it's not stable by week 2, then okay, then you know you're not there yet. Odds are you're too complicated. You're not spending enough. Now, if not spending enough doesn't mean you have to raise your budget. It just means turn off the ads that suck. But anyway, like this life cycle, is very common. We've seen it for a decade. We see it organically. We see it with paid. And you'll see a lot of performance marketers fight tooth and nail saying that that's not what happens. But I mean, I don't know what evidence they have to say that that's not true. All empirical data says that that's exactly how it works. And it also makes logical sense because that's how all social media functions. And it's in the best interest of both parties. You want your ads to perform well early, and the machine doesn't want to show new ads to complete strangers because it doesn't know who's going to like it. Logically, it makes no sense for it to work any other way. Jesus, why are leads so trash on Facebook? It seems like I do 5 times the work on Facebook compared to Google, and the leads are mid. Well, because Google people are looking for you. They already know what they want. Leads on Facebook, they might not know. And it's also really easy to give a lead on Facebook. The level of intent is so much lower. That's why the price should also be less. My goal for you, Jesus, would be, what do I need to do on Facebook so that I get more of those great Google leads? Now we're having a conversation. Now we're starting to like really amplify a full funnel. Remember, your funnel doesn't just exist on Facebook. What could I do on Facebook and Instagram to get more people on Google to give me their lead versus somebody else? That's a complete strategy. That's a scalable concept that's stable and can work. So I'd be focusing on that. Tommy, when talking about the 5 Olympic ring analogy, I love that. Thank you so much. I love that everybody's really enjoying the Olympic rings. It's just such a visual that everybody understands. For ads to complement each other, do they have to say the same message in different format and different framework, or they can be completely different messages? They could be completely different messages, Tommy, but congruency is power. If you're running an ad, let's say you have a skincare business, right? And your ads are all like, oh, it's the simplest 3-step system to get you the most quality, this or that. Like, we have a 3-step system of a demoisturizer and a remoisturizer and something that locks it in, and it makes it really simple, and you can do it every single day. Just follow the system and look at the amazing results. Say that's the ad. And I land on the page, and it's like, cheapest solution in the world. Those are 2 completely different conversations. If I land on the page where the ad talks about how it's the strongest, most reliable, lock for a bike, right? It's the strongest thing in the world. It's the most reliable. It's a money back guarantee, lifetime, warranty, all of that stuff. And the landing page says, look at how stylish we are. Well, that's cool, but that's not why I clicked, right? The congruency doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't name a vegan restaurant like you wouldn't name a vegan restaurant like Singh's House of Ribs, right? Like there needs to be a relationship. If the expectation doesn't meet what's delivered, then the performance isn't going to be any good. So you can have messages that are completely different. Just understand that if they're not complementary, then you're asking everything to work independently. And I had this conversation with somebody. We were doing a roast inside Disruptor Academy yesterday with a guy, real world business, brick and mortar. He's got a theater in Manhattan, an off-Broadway theater for children, about 200 seats. Hi, Stephen. And we were talking about this, and something very similar to this point. He could hit people in 3 states, but he has a lot of people that travel to Manhattan that make a point of coming by his studio. And then looking at the ads, he might sell 10 or 20 extra tickets directly attributed to Facebook and a bunch of other ones elsewhere. Like, he's not relying on Facebook to sell all of the tickets to the theater. Okay. The island of Manhattan has 6 million people on it. He needs to sell 20 tickets a day. There's also like 1 million people coming to travel to Manhattan on a daily basis. Let's say realistically, that's 100,000 children that could walk to this theater with their parents. Manhattan's very walkable. Maybe take a subway. If your daily audience that is also cycling constantly because of travel and all sorts of other stuff is 100,000, 500,000 people, you don't need to do anything other than appeal to the folks that are right around you to get them to do the thing. And if your organic content appeals to a whole bunch of people, then you can use your broad retargeting to continue to talk to them. Be like, hey, when you come to Manhattan, check out this thing. Now you have content where it's all like your kids are going to enjoy it when you're in Manhattan, do all this stuff. If you then hit other ads that talk to a completely different person for a completely different reason, you're trying to solve a problem that you don't need to, because if you can sell 20 tickets a day, you don't need any other sales page. So my point to you, Tommy, is you can have a completely different message, but why? Is there a point in you making it more difficult for you to close the deal? I don't know that there is. All right, one more question, and then we're going to get back to the chat we're going to get back to the comment section because we are less than a day, and now I'm going to probably plow through them, unfortunately. Roxalana, any idea why we can't push past 17K a day of spend without the performance falling off? There are a lot of reasons. First one might be performance. It might be the data flow. At that level of spend, you're probably getting a lot of data that's coming in, but if it's not segmented around different performance, different business objectives, you're probably confusing the machine. You're not siloing the data for different goals, maybe new customers or subscriptions or hero offer or other things. It's going to really struggle for you. You might also have a lot of conflicting concepts, where you have a lot of ads that are all segmenting a whole bunch of data into a whole bunch of little buckets where they're all cannibalizing each other instead of being complementary. You might also be tracking your performance based purely off of one platform instead of looking at how do I amplify the entire business model. If you can't push past 17,000 a day with performance falling off, well, what would I need to do to have that fallen off performance be acceptable at 20,000? How do we solve that problem in a few different ways? And to be fair, at the level you're at, the MBA program is like perfect. Like, you're the kind of person where the MBA program would pay for itself in like 2 weeks. And what that would do to your bottom line from getting you to 17, what would it look like for you if you got from 17,000 a day to like 30 or 50 for like 10K to join the MBA program? In 3 months, you'd be spending more than that every single day. The gap between what you're spending now and where you would be is less than the investment in the MBA program. It's a no-brainer. There are a lot of things around this, and I can't tell you any one in particular. I'd love to see the ad account. I'd love to talk more about the business. I highly recommend you take a look at some of the account audits that we have. They're probably smaller than the spend that you're at today, but it would be really informative to start thinking about how to think about stuff. And if you want to email me, Charley@disruptorschool.com, I'd be happy to see if we can help. It's Charley at EY. Anyway, let's get back to the comment section because we got a lot of stuff coming here. And I see you, chat. We're going to get to you. Don't you worry. Okay. Charley, for a new business with no customers, is it smart to create bottom of funnel ads or start at the top of the funnel? Thank you for all the info you're giving. If I have a brand new business with no customers, not running ads. Flat out, not doing it. If I don't have money to invest based off the sales that I've got, the easiest way to lose a lot of money is to invest in growing something that I can't prove that works. If I have no customers, I'm going to try to get attention. I'm probably working on my organic content. I'm working on trying to do things like Facebook is a very expensive way to try to see if my business is any good. My straight up advice for you is running conversion ads on Facebook is a really bad idea. Nail your organic, maybe boost some of those things. Go look through our How to Crush Facebook Ads on a Low Budget course. Go through that stuff. Let's understand how your business makes money and then amplify it. Waiting for the testing video. Oh yeah, bro, it's going to be huge. What about other advertising platforms, Charley? If your bank account is growing, how do you know whether that's thanks to Meta or, for example, Google Ads? Well, it's thanks to all of it. Now, one of the reasons that we know how much impact Facebook is having on other channels like Google is we don't run a lot of ads. It's very easy to say, oh, I know how my ads perform and I launched a creative test. Now my performance is different. What happened to the other channel? If you're running 100 ads, that's impossible. If you're running 50 ads, there's no way that you can understand what's happening on any other channel anytime you make a change. If your goal is to get beyond just the Facebook ads platform, what you want is the simplest ad account possible, because otherwise you can't measure what's happening. So if your bank account is growing, I mean, the simplest way, just turn off your Facebook ads and wait a week. When all of your revenue tanks, but you're super profitable, you can be like, well, I love that I'm making $100 for every dollar that I spend, but it sucks that I'm only making $200. Like, you're going to notice pretty quick. Thank you for PI. That's what we're talking about here today. I swear every time you refer to spaghetti at the wall, I'm eating pasta like what's in the video. I think that's really funny, Kaz. And I don't even know what to say to that. That is just funny. What would you consider a low or high CPM? Above or below the average for your ad account? There is no such thing as industry standard. There is no such thing as good or bad. It's lower or higher than the average for your ad account. I've absolutely seen the exact same business model have $8 CPMs and $50 CPMs. And I've seen the $8 CPM never be able to scale. I've seen the $50 CPM spending $100,000 a day. There is no relationship. 100% gold. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think this new video, the new way to run meta ads, is just, you should take a look at it. Thank you. Yeah, I've started to drop just like manifestos into the community board on YouTube. So I hope you all are liking that. This guy's pretending to be interesting by talking a lot and actually teaching nothing practical. Well, thanks for the feedback. I'm sorry that me telling you all the KPIs and explaining how they work isn't helpful to you. Let me know what you'd like to see. You're welcome. All right, superb as usual. Thank you so much. I guess that one guy didn't like it. Everybody else seemed to. To each their own. Hey, Charlie, can you please help with how I should be grouping creatives in flexible ads? Like based on the concepts or unique concepts for your multiple products. Okay, when we're testing the creatives in the testing ad set, found the winner, should we copy and paste the scaling ad set? Okay, first thing. A flex ad, a 3-2-2, all testing should answer a question. If you're running multiple concepts, I would not run if you're running 3 different concepts in a 3-2-2 ad, what you're doing is saying which execution of which concept is best. Okay? Then my next test would be to take that winning concept and do 3 versions of it in a 3-2-2 ad. So I'm going wide and then I'm going deep. Or I could have one concept with 3 different iterations of it. So I'm going deep right away. There's no right or wrong answer. I think it just depends on how your business operates. Do you have the ability to just take 100 shots on a bunch of different concepts and then dive deep into any one that works? Cool. Go that route. Now, if you're running ads for multiple products, I probably would start to cut back on the number of products that I'm promoting, because you shouldn't be promoting. In a perfect world, you're promoting one product. You're promoting one offer. Like you will get to the point where maybe you need 2 or 3. And when you get to that $3, $5, $10, $20,000 a day, you can have some fun with it. But odds are, most people struggle because they try to do too many things and they do all of it poorly. Do you have a video on the basic setup of meta ad framework that is best for testing and scaling? Yeah, we got some videos on that. I have a whole video on how to start set up from the very beginning. It's on I think it's titled something like the best course on how to set up an ad account or something like that. But honestly, dude, just ACES 75. Join Disruptor Academy, disruptoracademy.com. You can get in for free. Just do that. Abuse the free side of it and then pay. For the $147 a month, that'll let you start showing up on the live calls. That'll pay for itself in the first week. Scale that up until you're ready for the MBA. Noise, Space Odyssey reference. Thank you. I was very nervous about putting the Space Odyssey reference that early into the video. I was like, is this just going to make people bail? I don't know, because I got more videos, early-ass references coming. We're going to see how they do. Hey, Charlie, how do you get people to buy the second or third time and beyond as the more profitable sale for the higher CAC for sales made from ads, email marketing? So the point of this is I was talking about how the first sale is the least profitable and every sale after that is more valuable. And honestly, this is done through offer construction and through customer journey. Now, the unfortunate truth that I see from a lot of folks that claim to be experts on the internet is they say, well, LTV always comes from the offer. And while that's true, it also comes from the customer. You might have the world's best LTV, but your ads appeal to somebody who will never take advantage of it. For instance, I was running a women's shapewear brand, and we got them from 50K a month in ad spend to $1 million a week in revenue in about a year and a half. What we found was women over the age of 45 are very likely to take a buy 3 get 1 free offer, and they did it over and over again. And their LTV went from the business's LTV went from like 105 to well over 1,000 in like a year. The problem is, anytime we wanted to run ads for a cheap CPA, it showed a younger woman. Now, the younger woman was far more likely to buy 1 bra, not to buy 3 get 1 free. Her CPA was less, but the propensity to buy a second and third time was very different. She was the wrong customer profile. So yes, it's about the offer and the customer journey, but it's about understanding what the optimal customer profile is to take advantage of that business model, and then focusing your advertising on attracting that attention. So it's garbage in, garbage out. You can have the greatest thing in the world, but if you only feed it shit, it's only going to spit out shit. So the folks that say launch 1,000 ads and the business model so scales the business, that's a place of lack of experience. And I understand why they think that. I used to think that too. But, I'm in my 40s now with multiple college degrees and over a dozen businesses that I've taken to an 8-figure exit or 9-figure runway. I've learned some lessons. So don't add new test ad set before the CBO overall performance declines, right? Just increase the budget every day. Yes. If you can increase the budget, the worst thing you can do is launch a creative test. Zero argument against that. I've never heard anybody be able to explain why, if you can increase the budget, you would launch a test. But other than that, who knows? Please do this for a lead gen campaign without repeat buyers. We have a business that only has a 1.02 repeat purchase rate. We buy used cars, and it's not about people who sell again soon. Over 100,000 cars being sold. We only have about 2,000 that sold a car more than once. Hey, look, join Disruptor Academy, apply for the account audit, and we will dive into yours. These account audits, by the way, come from Disruptor Academy. If you join Disruptor Academy and you join the paid level, $147 a month, you're going to apply to be one of the accounts roasted. We bring up people constantly. We did a couple last week. I think we did 4 yesterday. So if you join Disruptor Academy, I'll dive into these style of videos and help your business. Absolutely. I don't understand how $200 spent in a prospecting campaign can reach a 4.01 frequency. Hello? Well, here's the thing. It's about time. 4.01 frequency over a month means somebody saw that, the average person saw that ad once a week. That's how you reach a 4.01 frequency. Frequency should only be measured by day. When you measure it over periods of time, you're missing the plot. Complicated way to say it, focus on LTV, not CPA and ROAS. Sure, but also it gives you the functionality of understanding how to focus on the second transaction. It's not just LTV cohorts, it's cash flow. But thanks for the feedback. I'll try to make it simpler. This is all I wanted for Christmas. You're welcome. Yeah, Disruptor Academy for free for everybody. I would like to include Arabic dubbing in your videos. I am really trying. I think YouTube is doing it now. So give it a shot. Hello from Spain. Second videos of yours I've watched. When I see somebody saying, when I saw someone saying, these people say, you what? Okay. Hello from Spain. Second videos of yours I've watched. When I saw someone saying, those people say, you what to do, but it is not what they are doing, makes me pay attention. I like your narrative, but so much info. Anyway, I think you're legit, so let's keep watching. I like your message, and it makes sense. Miguel, I love it. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Charlie, joining now. Hell yeah, Cheesehead. Been a big fan of Charlie. After looking at recent podcast debate, I'd say people are missing the point. It's not just about volume. Volume is just an outcome when the structure is right. Andromeda isn't about throwing money or creatives blindly. It's about organized volume and scaling systematically through structure and creative diversification. Change my whole account structure to focus on ads that bring maximum reach at the lowest frequency, and so far it's been doing great. Awesome, Edwin. I'm loving that you got a lot out of that. Holy moly. Yeah, the Academy is free for everyone. And so many people are excited about that. It makes me so excited. What if the persona is high ticket that only buys once? How can you optimize for that idea of needing one or two personas? I'm talking about real estate industry, not retail. I'm talking about direct to seller off market, as they only have one property they will ever sell you. Well, Abraham, I might think bigger. Who is the person that is buying this house? Right now, me personally, for the record, I currently own 2 homes. I have a house in LA and an apartment in Manhattan. If you're trying to sell a house, what is the persona of the individual, right? Maybe you're trying to sell to an affluent person with children. That's a different style house than somebody struggling to make the rent and they never want to have a roommate. If you can understand the why that captures that bigger persona, then I think you're going to be in a great place. I have a lot of friends that are in real estate, and I have more than a few real estate agents that have gone through the MBA, and it was life-changing for them. One guy, his name is Charley, funny enough, out of Pittsburgh. And we went through the real estate stuff with him, and I think it was a big deal. There's a lot of folks. I'll give you one example that comes to mind. It's the guy's named Sefker that went through the MBA. And one of the big unlocks for him was understanding the neighborhood, the cultural makeup of the neighborhood. And so we had 1 or 2 personas per neighborhood. And then he was able to understand how to sell that house because that was the cultural makeup. Now, this was in Los Angeles. And in LA, there's a city called Glendale, which is actually technically its own city. Glendale happens to be the largest amount of Armenians in the world outside of the capital city of Armenia. There's a dense population of Armenians in that culture, in that city. If you want to sell real estate in that city, understanding how to appeal to an Armenian looking to buy a house for his family is incredible. Understand the culture, you can sell the product. I'm in the phase of switching from Advantage Plus to Broad lead gen. Things are going smoothly after launching Broad alongside 3 days. 4th day, the bookings have plummeted. It's been close to a week. Do you think it's temporary or some sort of issue with the lead quality? Yeah, I mean, like we talked about before, I don't really judge performance on 3 days. I look at it week over week. Running both campaigns side by side with same ads until I completely switch to Broad will not hurt performance. It won't hurt performance. It's probably not optimal for performance, but it's the best way to figure out what it is. Hi, Charlie. What is the best way to diagnose if there's a lead quality issue or a sales team failing to do its job? It's always the team. It's not always the team. But go through your sales, go through your leads, and understand who are the people that don't answer, who are the people that show up. Do a lead quality validation. And then understand the ads that bring you high-quality leads and low-quality leads. Focus on that, and then your team will always do better. How can we find the ads that help in having repeat customers and make cash flow? Understand who the customers are that buy again and again, and then focus on the ads that attract that kind of person. Do flexible ads that have the 3 creative, 2 primary text count as 1 ad? Yes. So when you say we only need 5 ads like the Olympic rings, you can have 5 flexible ads. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it. Does a flexible ad with multiple creative count as 1? Yes. I think you asked the same question twice on this video. The answer is yes. Fire. Love it. What happened? Whatever happened, don't sell a course. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Some people don't like that video. Cool. It's not right for you. Unbelievable, Professor. I just checked the website a week ago for free tier and there's none. Thanks. Yes, it's there. Not gatekeeping. That's right. From India. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, but the link is not working. We'll try it now. DisruptorAcademy.com. Go for it. How do you deal with this when running time sensitive ads for a webinar? We don't have as much time to let ad earn spend. If it's time sensitive and there's a short timeline, we are going to probably take a different approach. And honestly, for those, a lot of the time, I might do a broader spectrum, launching more ads and then killing the things that don't work because I can't leverage machine learning nearly as much. And I'm also probably leveraging a warm audience more than a broad one so that I can get more data faster and I can do it for a cheaper price. If I can go off a broad retargeting and then do a wide test and eliminate every ad that earns spend but sucks, I'm only going to be left at the ads that earn spend and do well. And because my audience is already pre-qualified, I'm going to not waste nearly as much money and teach the machine what to do because I've already basically served it up with a warm audience. And then the question is, well, how do you get a warm audience? Check out our course video in Disruptor Academy. Again, it's free. The course video called How to Crush Facebook Ads on a Low Budget. And then you'll absolutely be successful. The go to media buying. Thank you. Thank you. This also works with Andromeda. Absolutely. Requested. You got it. Gold. Thank you. That's awesome. One of the best. Requested. Please above. You are in. All right. But if you fought Jonathan Firstly like myself, I don't even know Jonathan Firstly. I don't know. 1 million creatures. You can say ahead. Thank you. The Spanish wheels are very funny. Look, I thank you. Somebody else did that. But Alex Hormozy says you need more creative every week. Yeah, and Alex Hormozy isn't good at ads. Alex Hormozy is good at a whole bunch of stuff. He's not good at ads. I know that because he's tried to hire my students to run his ads. I know his problems. I know the people that he's fired, and his ad strategy works if you're crushing on organic. Free garbage is still garbage. I absolutely agree. And free value is still value. Diversity ads. Oh, yeah, we did with this one before. Okay, so I think we're cleared up on all of this. Fantastic. So let's come back to the chat and then work through everything here and then call it a day. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for explaining broad retargeting. I tested 2 DCTs on top of funnel, now applying the 5 Olympic ring system since the question from the comments, create a linear journey. Love it. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Peterson. Understood. Have to look at 7 to 14 days. Love it. Can you expand a bit more? I'm doing solar lead gen. I've gotten decent leads on Facebook, just way slower. So what would you, I mean, honestly, Jesus, can you build a warm audience? Can you just build organic content so that people that would likely take a lead gen effort on solar would know who you are? Or are you just trying to get the sale? If you can be informative and interesting and like earn people's attention and trust so that you're getting them early in their journey, and then your conversion ads are just hitting the people that are already trusting you and getting them over the finish line, that's going to be great. And it'll also probably spike your search volume. Again, Jesus Academy, how to crush Facebook ads on a low budget. I need to make that video again and just call it how to build a warm audience. Because I think everybody thinks it's a low budget campaign. It's different. I'm going to probably remake that video. I commit to you all here. I will remake that video for my YouTube channel. But instead of being like an hour and a half, I'll make it like 25 minutes or something like that. And just teach the principles of how to develop a warm audience so that you can scale without ever needing to go broad. Something along those lines. It'll be fun. Want to ask about the DCT1, DCT winner strategy. Let's say I have a winner's ad set. If I want to change something, should I duplicate it inside the same campaign? Yeah, sure. If you want to change something, yeah, don't leave the campaign. How can I know my ad is filling the funnel so I don't need to kill it? E.g., less spend, leads but no sales. You can take a look at the 4PI, and you're going to find multiple ads of prospecting. What you can never do is truly understand the entire customer journey, ad to ad, and then point to point. What you can do is say, I've got ads that are doing their job, and I have ads that don't. And if I have multiple ads that are doing the same job, which ones look most like the other ads that are doing the job well? If you have 3 ads that are all filling the funnel very well, which ones look most like the retargeting ads that are also doing well? Which ones are most congruent with the rest of the customer journey? The ones that aren't, kill them. Do I turn off the DCT when I already have extracted the post ID, the proving ground ad set? I have a DCT that's eating all the budget and not sharing any new DCT. Peterson, this is my question to you. If my budget is good and if my performance is good and I can scale my budget, the last thing I want to do is change anything. Also, if your performance is solid and you don't need the other DCT, slap a spend limit on it. Start to teach the machine to not spend as much on it. And I fully don't expect the post ID to perform with as much spend as the full DCT does, because now it's in an ad set with a bunch of other great ads. It's now a complementary member of the team. It's not the entire team. You're taking the best player on a team and putting it on an all-star team. Their contribution is going to be different than the entire team. That's a weird analogy. I might not have landed that plane. Jesus Christ. I hope that makes sense. If not, jump into the academy, ask the question, and we'll dive into it more there. Let's see. Charlie, I have a loaded question, but I'll try to make it short. Okay. I'd love to see a sneak peek of the MBA program. If you get a second to share a screen, give us some insight on it, because 10K is a big number, but I feel like it'd be beneficial. Okay, let's see what we can do. Boom. MBA classroom. Okay. Let's have some fun. Boom. Share this tab instead. Okay, the MBA is also on school now. We have partner decks, so all the decks from Meta and all the stuff. We see people say, well, there's that Meta deck. Yeah, it's all right here. Everything that everybody else is holding back from you, you get to see right there. I'm going to hide this ecom so that everybody click down here to join this, okay? Now, start here. We go through just, what to get educated and how to understand the program. Now, inside the program, we have a whole bunch of stuff on a whole bunch of things, okay? So we have the Scrum, we have measurement, we've got optimization, we've got automated rules, we've got creative testing, we've got global documentation, here we have certification, all sorts of fun stuff. There's all sorts of these things. There's lessons, there's quizzes, there's live lectures, there's Q&As, there's all sorts of things in here. And it's basically addressing all of the stuff that you need to know. Measurement of your ads, so you never need attribution software ever again. How to optimize your ad account to simplify and scale. How to automate the optimization and the reporting. How to do creative testing. How to do global documentation to reduce stupid emails and make sure that everybody's on the same page. What to do with your creative testing once you find winners. How to measure the entire platform so it's not just Facebook, but the entire ecosystem. How to do financial planning for your entire business. How to understand testing when it comes to products and landing pages and apps and everything else that goes into the business. How to work on actually developing your brand to build a moat around the business so that you can scale without being so dependent on just the first order. And how to build out a 90-day plan plus a whole bunch of advanced curriculum. And this program will be 15 modules in the next few months, and you have lifetime access to the whole damn thing. There we go. That's what you get. I highly recommend you join that. Nobody's ever joined the MBA program and did the work, asked for their money back. I've been running it for over half a decade now. Yeah. When I run conversion campaigns with lead gen, I did see some overlap as few people converted on leads. I converted previously on lead gen. Is that okay? Because the target and the ads were the same. It'll happen. You just got to kind of pick a lane and run with it. When we do know, when do we know while scaling that we've reached a ceiling? You haven't. As our business is the premium weight loss segment, not everyone can afford it, or saturation, not really think. It's not. I've spent $1 million a day back when CPMs were $2. It took me a week to saturate the United States. You're not spending enough. Just join the academy. Awesome, Heather. Fantastic. Welcome. I hit the intros. Love to see it. Plow through all the free stuff, or just upgrade to the premium stuff right now and get yourself on the calendar for the account audits and for the one-on-one, for the coaching calls and all sorts of stuff. And keep your eye out for the software, because we're going to be doing some alpha launches soon. Do you think changing ad accounts or pixels can adjust performance? Absolutely. 100%. The ad account is the folder that all the data exists in, and the pixel is the conduit that all that data is, the data set. If you start over from scratch, performance will change. What do I do in case I'm scaling my budget by 5% every 3 days in a week, but at a point performance drops a bit? Hey, let it stabilize and then scale the budget again. You don't need to scale the budget every single day. I fully expect for you to hit 5% a few times over and over and over, and then like, oh, things are uncomfortable. Okay, so slow down, let the machine catch up. If you've scaled that by 5% over and over and over again, then maybe it's time to lift up search. Figure out the other things that are going on. You created more opportunity for the rest of the business. Take advantage of it. Yeah, so totally fine. I'm in Disruptor Academy. It's the best. Thank you, Peterson. I'm very happy to hear that. Well, everybody, thank you all so much. Yeah, it looks like we do have some more Academy members today. She was not lying. I'm looking at the members right now. There she is, Heather. Founder. Heather is a founder. Good for you. Yeah, love it. This is great. I love your focus. I love your message, Heather. This is fantastic stuff. I will leave you to share what it is if you ever want to. Anyway, with all that being said, everybody, I hope you were all doing okay. I know the beginning of this call was a little chaotic with the puppy, and motivation and stuff. But anyway, by this time next week, I might have a second kid. Who knows? Until then, everyone, I'll see you on the internet. Bye, everybody.